Guys, we are back in Python loops. So we're going to be messing around with while loops and for loops. Should be somewhat familiar if you've ever touched any sort of coding before. While loops and for loops are pretty much standard. So we have a little bit of, and they're kind of giving a compare and contrast here. We know how to do if statements at this point, and we're saying if the count is less than 5, print this. And you'll notice that while count is less than 5, continue to run this. So this will run once, this will run 5 times until it hits 5, and we increase it by count by 1 every time so it doesn't do an infinite loop. Oh, it wants us to less than or equal to. They wanted us to change that, so let's go ahead and change that to less than or equal to 9. While count is less than 9. Oh, 0 to 9. So because we want it less than, there's 10. So there we go. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we took this out, it would actually crash our page because it'd be an infinite loop. CL that checks the condition. Alright, so we're basically setting a Boolean variable true, and we're saying while this is true, print I am a loop. Then we have it change to false, so this should print only one time. I am a loop. So just using Booleans to do the same thing. We don't actually have to say while loop condition is equal to true. We're just inheriting the value while this remains unchanged. Alright, so create a while loop that prints out all the numbers from 1 to 10 squared. So, while count is less than 10, or while num is less than 10, because they gave us the num, less than 11 rather, because we want to include 10. One second, guys. I put a fan out here, and I can hear it blowing into the mic. So let me change that. Alright, so while num is less than 11, we want to fill the blank space. Inside loop, print the num squared. So we want to just square this. Alright, so print num times num. Or to the second power, actually, is how they want to do it. And then num equals num plus 1. That's it. So you see 1, 4, 9, etc. Simple errors. So fill in the loop condition so that the user will be prompted for a choice over and over, while choice does not equal y and choice does not equal n. So we'll say while choice is not equal to y, or choice is not equal to n. Good. So we'll just put g. Sorry, I didn't catch that enter again. And we'll put n. Yeah. I'll put y. Alrighty, so while this is not equal to it, why isn't this working? Do we need to break it? Do we run an infinite loop? I don't think so. So run input and join the course, yes or no. While this is not equal to that. So let's go to the QA form and see what's going on, because I'm why can't I use or? Is that what we're doing here? So that might be it. Oh. There we go. Alright, so this needs to be and, because in theory, we'll have to refresh this page. In theory, it's always going to be one or the other, not be one or the other. So while it's not a y, it could be an n. When it's an n, it can't be y. So same thing we just did there, except we'll say while choice is not equal to y and choice is not equal to n. So G should run one time, Y, there you go. So we're good to go on that. So the loop in the editor has two problems. It's missing a colon, a syntax error, and count is never incremented. Logical error. The latter will result in an infinite loop. Be sure to fix both before running. So while count is less than 10, colon, print count, and increment it, count equals count plus 1. Good to go. See what break does, feel free. So break is going to break the loop. So once we get it greater than or equal to 10, break it. This is another way to do it. Just depends on what you want to do. So see while and else in action. So we're going to do, it looks like we have a while, count is less than 3, generate a random number. If the number is equal to 5, print star you lose. Else, increment the count plus 1. So basically it runs 3 times, and see if we went 3, 3, 1. We won because we made it to 3 without it hitting 5. That's all that's going on there. So let's see here. Use a while loop to let the user keep guessing so long as guesses underscore left is greater than 0. Alright, so while guesses under left is greater than 0, ask the user for the guess. Alright, so we'll say guess equals user, or excuse me, int, because we want an integer, raw underscore input. Then we'll do, oops. Then we'll do your guess. So we're gonna get some input, and we'll say if. We'll do a random underscore number is equal to guess. Exactly equal to guess. Print. You win. And then break. Oops. Else. We're going to decrement, so guesses underscore left equals guesses underscore left minus 1. Use an else. Use an else case after your while loop to print you lose. So then we'll do else. Print you lose. Period. Alright, let's see if we did everything right here. So my guess is 3, 2, 1. I lose. And we have just got our 1000 exercise badge. So as crazy as it may seem, we have done 1000 exercises on CodeCademy apparently, which seems like a lot. But hey, we've been at it, so that's pretty good. Alright, back to the for loops. So make the loop print the numbers from 0 to 19 instead of 0 to 9, so that should be it. Alright, create a for loop that prompts the user for a hobby 3 times. So for I in range 4. We'll create a variable here. We'll say choice or new hobby. That's a bad name. We have hobbies. We have a, what's a good variable name? For your hobbies. Fun time. Oh, this is an awful name. Fun time equals equals oh, I forgot how to call it. Raw input. Raw underscore input. And then hobbies dot append. Hobbies dot append. Oh, they want it to be called hobby. Alright, so hobby. Oh, we don't actually ask for anything. So we'll just say games, movies, coding, YouTube. Yeah. So we actually got prompt user. Yeah, we got 4. I think they wanted 3, but hey, it worked. So, alright, add a second for loop so that each character in the word is printed 1 time. So, we'll say for I in word, print I. That should be it. So, spam, exclamation point, eggs, exclamation point. Add your for loop. Let's filter out the letter A from our string. Do the following for and char character in the phrase. And so we'll say for char in phrase. If char is equal to A, or char is equal to little a, print X. Should include the trailing comma. Why do we? I'm not sure why we need to include the trailing comma, but we do. Let's see if it says why in the hint here. Anyhow, otherwise, else, it might just be so that it combines these 2 print statements, even though they're not on the same thing. Else, print char, comma. Alright, let's see what's going on here. See if we did this correctly. Don't delete this print statement. Okay. X bird in the hand. A bird in the hand. So, does it put a space in there maybe? Not really quite sure what the comma is for, the trailing comma, but maybe we'll find out next one. So write a second for loop that goes through the numbers list and prints each element squared, each on its own line. So we'll say for num in numbers, we want to print num times 2. There you go. On line 5, print the key followed by a space, followed by the value associated with that key. On line 5, print the key followed by a space, followed by the... Alright. So, print the key. So, print key followed by a space plus a space followed by the value associated with that key. I believe that's what they're asking. And don't forget your plus. Try that one more time. And there you go. A is apple, C is cherry, B is berry. We don't want the user to see things listed from index 0. Since this looks unnatural, instead the item should appear to start at index 1. Modify the print statement to reflect this behavior. See the hint for help. Alright, so for index, print index plus 1. I think that's what it's asking. So instead, it's still supplementing the index, but we're increasing it by 1 because people won't understand why it starts at 0, Even I don't understand some of the times why all indexes start at 0, but hey, they do. So there you go. Alright, complete each pair of elements and print the larger of the two. So let's do an if statement. We're going to say if A is greater than B, print A, else print B. There you go. So we're just saying if this value is greater than its counterpart, print that. If this is greater than the counterpart, print that. We're not printing all of them, we're just printing, we're comparing the, if the 0 index is greater than B's 0 index, so on and so forth. Click save, see how for else works. Alright, so let's see if we can understand this. Print you have, and then for F in fruits, banana, and if it's a tomato is not a fruit, it actually is print. It breaks the for loop, and that's that. So it doesn't print anything else out from there. Alright, modify the code editor such that the for loops else statement is executed. Just take out the break. And it goes all the way through. And build a for else statement in the editor. Alright, so let's but it's code shuffle. Alright, so let's just do languages or codes. And we'll set this equal to Python, PHP, and JavaScript, all languages we have done on CodeCademy, among others. So we'll say for I in, and I could be anything. I just always use I because that's what we used when I was first taught Java. So for I in codes, print I, or print my actually no, we'll just do it. It's simple. Code language I know is, God, I hope I spelled language right. I'm so bad with spelling. And then we'll put I, and then we'll do for I in codes, and we'll do a while loop here actually. Actually, let's make it real complicated. We'll do count equals 0. And then we'll do while count is less than 3. Print this. And then we'll increment count equals count plus 1. That'll break it, and then we'll say if count is equal to 3, print I know more, but I'm too tired to list them. Alright, let's see if that worked. Don't forget a colon. So if we did this right, it should print out Python. Code language I need 3 times, and they should also print out this. And there you go. Make sure you're for with an else. Else print something. There you go. So we finished our loops. We earned our badge. And in the next video, we are going to be working a little more with loops, and it's called Practice Makes Perfect. So we'll probably just be going over everything we did. And as always, constructive criticism is appreciated. And if you ever have any WordPress questions, I'm trying to do some of my own videos, not just CodeCademy, because eventually we'll run out of CodeCademy. And sneak peek, they have a preview of their MySQL program that's coming out soon. So if you want to just kind of get your hands on that, making yourself familiar with databases is a great way to get your foot in the door. I'm learning that the hard way. I have very little experience, and that's what I'm doing in my free time as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next Python video.